Hey guys, it's John, and welcome to a video where I'm going to be voting on who I think should win all of the categories for the 2025 Game Awards, which is taking place on December 11th, so just a few weeks from now. I thought it'd be fun to go through, fun little video idea. Here are the nominees. There's 29 different categories. Now, not all of these I'm going to have an opinion on, but I will vote for ones that I have an opinion on. Like, for example, best esports team, I'm probably not going to vote on because I don't know anything about esports teams. I know that Cloud9 is one. Are they good? They seem pretty good. They've won it before. I know that. Best esports athlete is Faker nominated. He'll probably win again. But yeah, I will be voting for many of these categories, and I'm not going to start with Game of the Year, but I'm sure the comment section on this will be nice and healthy with everyone agreeing with all of my choices. Let's spin the roulette and just pick one. What'd I pick? Best debut indie game. Okay, for the best debut game created by a new independent studio. The nominees are Blueprints by Doggo Bomb, published by Raw Fury, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33 by Sandfall Interactive, Despelote, which I have not played, by Julian Cordero, and Dispatch by Ad Hoc Studio. Now, I actually am going to vote for Blueprints on this one. Expedition 33 is nominated for 12 different categories, so I will be voting for Expedition 33 on some things. But I think for best debut indie game, for my money, having only played these two over here, I think I gotta go Blueprints on this one. It gets my respect. Blueprints, terrific puzzle game. In fact, probably the most mainstream, like, indie puzzle game that I've seen in a long time. It's got Myst vibes. It's a fantastic game. If you'd like to see a playthrough of it, I have one on this channel. It's 26 parts and counting because I'm actually not completely done with it yet, but I have all of the main endings complete that I know of. So I'm going to be voting for Blueprints on this one. No offense to Expedition 33 whatsoever, but they're going to win plenty of awards. I'm throwing my hat in the ring for Blueprints here. That's right. Keep voting. All right. I can just hit next category. Is it just going to... Best mobile game. All right. I'm not going to vote for this because I have not played any of these. If I were to predict who would win this, it would be Umamasume Pretty Derby, because that's the one that I keep hearing about. Okay, let's go back to view all categories, because it was just going to take me to the next one. Let's actually start just picking randomly again. Let's go. Best community support, recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates patches. Once again, I'm just in this sort of area where I don't actively play any of these. I've never played Helldivers 2. I have never played FF14. I have played quite a bit of Fortnite, hundreds of hours of it, but I have not played much this year. Baldur's Gate 3, I played through my initial campaign and I have not continued with it. No Man's Sky, I played it way back when. I understand they're still developing it, but I don't really have a strong opinion on this one, so I'm going to go back to view all categories. And I think instead of randomly picking them, I'm just going to semi-randomly but also curate my category choice. We're going to go to most anticipated game, because I actually have an opinion on this one. We've got 007 First Light. These are games in 2026 that are coming out. Grand Theft Auto 6, well, we assume they're coming out next year. Marvel's Wolverine, notably developed by Insomniac, who developed the Spider-Man games for PlayStation. Resident Evil Requiem, and The Witcher 4. So Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to win this category, and it's not even going to be a question. I am going to vote for Resident Evil Requiem because that's my most anticipated. But GTA 6 will win this, and if not GTA 6, then The Witcher 4. But I am voting for Resident Evil Requiem, even though it will not win. Next category. Content Creator of the Year. Now, this is a strange one to me. There's Kadrill, who I've never heard of, but I think they are an esports player, judging from the picture. There's Kaisenat, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, who is the biggest streamer on Twitch, and makes very little gaming content, from what I've seen, so I'm not sure why they're here. Most of their content is them in a giant room with about 50 other people yelling all at the same time. So I'm not sure why they're here for Content Creator of the Year. They've also won Streamer of the Year the past 2 years, so I don't really want to vote for them on this one. Moist Critical is also here. Again, I know that Moist Critical, you know, he actually got his start in gaming. I remember back when he was just the QWOP guy. He played a game called QWOP, 12 years ago by now, which was this like rage flash game, and he played stuff like that back then, like just funny little games. And this was before he started covering drama, but then he's had like a 10-year run at that since, and he has a gaming channel. But again, I think nominating him for Gaming Content Creator of the Year, I just don't know if I can do that. I'm not familiar with Sukuramiko. They're a VTuber. And the Burnt Peanut is a VTuber. I kind of want to vote for the Burnt Peanut simply because they're a VTuber who is apparently a peanut. So, I don't have strong feelings about this, but I'll vote for Burnt Peanut, sure. Again, without knowing anything about them. Best esports game: Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang. What the hell? And Valorant. Cool. Could there be a more boring category than this? I don't think it's possible. The only one of these games that I play is League of Legends, but I'm not going to vote for it. We're going to go back to categories. Best multiplayer? Sure, let's check out what's on here. Ooh, we got some friend slop. Nice. There's Arc Raiders, which from what I'm hearing is probably going to win. Battlefield 6. Elden Ring Night Rain, the 3-player co-op Elden Ring game. I played one session of it and didn't particularly like it. Felt like I was running for the entirety of my playtime with it. There's Peak, which I have played and I've enjoyed. And there's also Split Fiction, the latest game from Hazelight Studios, aka the developer behind A Way Out and It Takes Two, the Joseph Fares studio. So I have not played Split Fiction. I hear it's incredible. The only one here that I've played is Peak. I think it's a strange victor to declare if I were to vote for it. I think, like I said, I think Arc Raiders, just from what I'm hearing, is probably going to win this. If Battlefield 6 wins, it's going to be the biggest snooze fest of all time. I'll throw Peak a vote. I don't think that I would personally vote for it if I were in charge of the nominees, but of these nominees, I will gladly vote for it. I don't think I'm going to vote on Best Adaptation. I just don't have a horse in that race. Let's see. Best Family. Sure. What do we got here? We got Donkey Kong Bonanza, who's also nominated for Game of the Year. We got 2 Lego games, Lego Party and Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Crossworld, and Split Fiction. And unfortunately, I haven't played any of these. Well, I actually went out of my way to play as many games this year as I could that were going to be nominated, and I apparently failed. Best Fighting. I haven't played any of these. Wow, I'm really feeling left out at the moment. It is interesting that 2 of the nominees are collections. Am I reading this right? Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection and Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Are there really so few fighting games that we're nominating collections? Am I understanding that right? Best RPG. Now this is a controversial category. There's Avowed. There's Expedition 33. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And those last 2 are also nominated for Game of the Year. Monster Hunter Wilds and The Outer Worlds 2. Now, one thing that's kind of making the rounds with this is that there's no JRPGs, of which apparently there were many good ones this year. I keep hearing about, what is it? Trails of Cold Steel, or I don't know, something like that. The Dragon Quest 1 and 2 remake? I don't know, I see screenshots online of people being like, why weren't these voted? They're all Western RPGs, you know. The JRPG fans' fated nemesis, the Western RPG. I don't disagree that it's a little narrow of a category and not as wide-ranging as it should be. I will probably vote for Expedition 33 here, even though I have admittedly not played the other ones. Let's go back to view all categories. This is actually not as spicy so far as I had hoped. Once again, we're in a category where I've only played one of the games. Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Silk Song, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and Split Fiction. I gotta vote for Silk Song here. I just did 100% playthrough of this, but I'm voting for it. You know what? If you had to play every single game in every category in order to vote, nobody would vote. You would vote maybe like one category. Best action game. Damn, I haven't played any of these. Battlefield 6. Doom the Dark Ages, which I haven't played it. I did play Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal though, and I really liked them. This was just a packed year, but yeah, the fact that it's barely nominated is kind of surprising. Doom the Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4. I actually didn't know that existed until now. I played the Ninja Gaiden games for NES back in the day, but yeah, it's still going. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, and unfortunately I just am going to be unable to vote on that, I think. Best independent games. This is best indie game, period. We got Absolem, which is a game I have in my Steam library, but haven't checked out yet. I hear it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. You can play it co-op. Looks interesting. I got actually day one that it released, but haven't played it. Ball X Pit, not familiar with that one. Blueprints, again, love it. Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Silk Song. So I've actually played 3 out of these 6 games. I am not going to vote for Expedition 33 on this one, because even though I understand why it's nominated as an indie game, I think I want to go more indie for Game of the Year, indie Game of the Year, and I think I gotta go Silk Song on this one. Just gotta go for it. And yeah, I mean, if you saw my playthrough of Silk Song, you know I have a lot of respect for the game. A lot of respect for Team Cherry. They've created an all-timer Metroidvania game there. Best ongoing. I think this is going to be another one I don't really have an opinion on. Yeah, FF14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Marvel Rivals. Dude, the fall off needs to be studied for Marvel Rivals. If that wins, I'm going to be shocked. But yeah, no vote for me. Games for Impact, and this is another category where I haven't played anything. Consume Me, that seems fun. Despalote, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, South of Midnight, and Wanderstop. Yeah, if I were to guess what will win this, I should probably start doing that if I'm not going to vote. The only one I've really heard anyone talk about is South of Midnight here, but it's mostly these rage bait people online talking about it being woke and stuff, so snooze fest. If I were to guess for best ongoing, did Helldivers 2 win last year? That's a 2024 game, right? Yeah, I don't know actually on that one. I don't have a good best VR. Oh, again, I haven't played any of these. Oh, dude, Midnight Walk. I'm voting Midnight Walk. I have played that one. That would be sick VR. I gotta vote Midnight Walk. Ooh, I almost didn't even look at the category because I was like, why bother? I don't think Midnight Walk will win, but I gotta vote for it. What a great game. I got a full video on here, 5 hours. 5 hours uncut. Great game. Best action game, I'm going to say Hades 2 will probably win this one. Because I don't think Hades 2 is winning Game of the Year, but they got to give it something. Because it's, from what I understand, a very, very good game. So Hades 2 will win this one, is my prediction. I would love for Silksong to win this one. I think... I haven't played Dead Stranding 2, but it kind of gives me a little chuckle that it's best action game. But I guess it's more the adventure side, right? Let's see. Anything else I want to give thoughts on? I don't think so. All right, we're gonna do the top row now. These are the biggies. Well, innovation and accessibility. I'm just not really knowledgeable on what the innovation was, right? So don't think I'll be voting on that one. Best performance. Now here's a juicy one. Okay, so we've got 3 nominees from Expedition 33, and people were kind of a little prickly about this online. You got Ben Starr, who voices Verso, Charlie Cox, who voices Gustav, and Jennifer English, who voices Mael. And yeah, I think actually none of them are going to win this category. I know it's kind of a hot take, but I just think having 3 actors from one game is going to split the vote too much. I think too many Expedition 33 fans are going to be like, I really preferred Ben Starr's performance, and others are going to be like, I really loved Jennifer English's performance. And I think that it's going to be kind of a cannibalized situation here. With that said, Charlie Cox as Gustav is kind of famous for basically like flying out and recording all of his lines in an afternoon and then forgetting that he ever did it, and then being shocked when people started bringing it up, and he was like, oh right, I did do that. So I just think, nothing against his performance, but I think I would have kind of a problem with him winning. You know, I just on principle of that, because, you know, you think Konatsu Kato forgot that she did the performance of the main character in Silent Hill FF? No, I don't think so. I don't think she's ever gonna forget that. So, you know, no offense to Charlie Cox or his performance as Gustav, but I just, if he wins it, I'll be just shaking my head a little bit. Not to say that they didn't do a great job. All 3 of them did. Erika Ishii, I'm sure, was fantastic, and Ghost of Yotei as the lead as well. I have seen clips of Troy Baker as Indiana Jones in the Great Circle, and let me tell you, as someone who is not the biggest Troy Baker fan, simply because of his ubiquity, he's just everywhere these days, I think he did like a truly impressive job as Indiana Jones. He did I mean, this is one of the reasons he's cast so many times and he's won so many awards. He's very, very good at what he does. With all that said, my vote has to go to Konatsu Kato, because I played Silent Hill F on the channel, and I got 3 of the endings. I played it all the way through twice. I didn't love the game, but she was by far the best part of it, so she gets my vote. She genuinely did a very, very good job. Best audio design. Now here we've got Battlefield 6, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotei, Silent Hill F. And of these, I've played Expedition 33 and Silent Hill F. So this is in-game audio and sound design. I actually think, you know, of the 2 options that I have to vote for, I think Silent Hill F actually, like the in-game audio and sound, is a highlight of the game. I think it is very well done. So I would vote for them. If I were to guess who's gonna win this one, it's probably gonna be Death Stranding 2 or something. They gotta give Kojima some awards on the year when he has like a ridiculous amount of competition. Best score and music. So Christopher Larkin for Silksong. So good. Darren Korb for Hades 2. Now, I haven't heard the Hades 2 soundtrack, but I am a Darren Korb fan. He did the soundtrack for the original Hades, which I haven't played, but he also did the soundtrack for Bastion, which was their game before Hades, and so I've listened to a lot of Darren Korb. The Bastion soundtrack, do not sleep on it. Do not sleep on Bastion as a game, actually. Very, very good soundtrack. Very, very good composer. So, I gotta put in my respect for Corb here, but I will not be voting for him. I do not know how to say the name, but Lauren Testard for Expedition 33. Toma Ottawa for Ghost of Yote, and Woodkid and Ludwig Forsell for Death Stranding 2. I'm actually going to go Expedition 33 on this one. With full respect to Christopher Larkin's work, I just think that there's some standout tracks for the Silksong OST. You got Bilewater, you got Coral Chambers, you got a few incredible tracks, the Verdania soundtrack, but I just think overall, I don't think it's quite as strong as Hollow Knight. If this was the Hollow Knight soundtrack, I would vote for it, the original one, but I just think it was a little less memorable overall. And it's a fantastic soundtrack. It deserves to be nominated, but I just don't know if I can vote for it. Expedition 33, the soundtrack, might be the best thing about the game in my eyes. I still have it in my head. Clear up's good. I'm voting. I'm voting for the French-ass game. Best art direction. We got Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Silk Song. So once again, I've only played 2 of these, which is starting to become a very frustrating thing to say. Best art direction. This is a toughie. This is a toughie. Silk Song has that hand-drawn style. It's one of those things where I kind of like prefer the original game's art style, but I'm trying to judge it against Expedition 33's. Expedition 33 has a fantastic, like, graphical look overall. I think it's kind of, I just don't know if I love the art direction in particular, being head and shoulders above anything else here. I think it's good. It's nominated, right? It deserves it. But I think I gotta go Silk Song here. I'm voting Silk Song. All right. Best narrative. We're down to the last 3. Best narrative. Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Silent Hill F. Now, for a lot of people, Silent Hill F, the strongest aspect of it is the narrative. In my opinion, I didn't love the narrative for it, actually. And so I am going to vote for Expedition 33. It is kind of a more enthusiastic vote that I'm selling here, though, because I do actually really like the story for Expedition 33. I think at times the execution of it can get a little masturbatory. I think they kind of get a little too into the angst of things at times, but then other times the characters are very flat to me. So I think overall the plot, though, is very interesting and one of the highlights of the game for sure. Once you've played it all the way through and you've seen the ending, I think I chose the Verso ending, but I imagine the Mael ending is also just as evocative. By the time the credits were rolling, I was like, that was a very nice story. So I think I gotta vote Expedition 33 here for best narrative. All right. I know you're supposed to start with Game of the Year, which is so annoying. So every time I hit next category, it takes me to the next one. Best Game Direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. So, again, Expedition 33 here is the only one that I've played. Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, Split Fiction. It's hard to vote for a game that you haven't played, but really, like, I think I vote for Expedition 33 here, because really the only choice I have is to not vote. or vote for Expedition 33. Like, if I don't feel enthusiastic about the vote in some way, I'm not going to cast it. I would love to vote for another one if I felt strongly about it. But yeah, you know, I think it does have strong direction. It has I think that's fine. Now, game of the year. And once again, I got Expedition 33 and Silksong. I was really hoping Blueprints would be on here, but it was a long shot after Hades 2 came out. The double indie slot was taken out. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is it really that good? Death Stranding 2 on here, I think, is probably the most out of place one, just from what I've heard in the public consciousness and stuff. But Jeff Keighley loves Kojima. I feel like anytime Kojima comes out with a game, it's gonna be nominated for Game of the Year. So Donkey Kong Bonanza, they had to have a Nintendo game. I'm sure it's good. You know, all of these, no disrespect, I'm sure they're great. But I can't help but being a little cynical. I will say, before I cast my vote, the fact that out of the 6 games, there's 2 true indies, and technically there's 3 indies, Expedition 33, Hades 2, and Silksong, that's incredible. That is... I think that a lot of people judge this as an off year because there weren't many hyped up AAA games. I think that people really thought it was like Death Stranding 2's award to lose, like in, you know, May of this year or whatever, or April, something like that, whenever it came out, because there just wasn't much else on the horizon. But Hades 2 was a kind of a surprise release. Expedition 33 certainly was. Silksong was a surprise release. So they all just kind of crept up and put themselves in here. So I do think that Expedition 33 will win this. I don't think that any other game has a chance except for Silksong. With that said, I am going to vote for Silksong out of respect for just how long we've waited for it, how much I love Hollow Knight as an IP, and what an impressive achievement it is. And, you know, just like Expedition 33 is as well. I just think, to go on a little soapbox here, I'm not going to make it too long, but Expedition 33 is a fantastic game. And like I said, I think it will win Game of the Year, and to a certain extent, I think it should win Game of the Year. But I think there is a somewhat annoying Last of Us style fan base cropping up around it that is acting like it is a generational game, acting like it has redefined the RPG genre, and I just think that that is such a bunch of bullshit. I think that it's a great game. I think it'll win Game of the Year, and all Expedition 33 fans will be happy that it won. So I don't think that there's any danger of that. But I just think this idea that it's a generational game is just so phony. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It only makes sense to me if, like, you have been playing nothing but Final Fantasy games and games, I guess, of that caliber in the mainstream, and you just have not been paying attention at all to RPGs in the past 10 years, that you think that Expedition 33 has, like, redefined anything. It's a great game, like I said, but what innovations are we even talking about? I think that people are getting really kind of hung up on feeling emotional during the cutscenes where they're tugging at your heartstrings and stuff, and maybe they cried during the game, which I'm not poo-pooing, okay? If you cried during the game, I'm not making fun of you at all. You know, very emotional things happen. It didn't affect me at all, but I understand that for others it was an emotionally touching game. I'm not trying to take that away from anyone, but I do think that for all the cinematic quality the game has, I really don't think that it redefined anything or did much in terms of revolutionizing anything outside of the fact that maybe it kind of turned the games industry upside down a little bit this year, and that they didn't expect a developer like Sandfall Interactive of 33 people, even with all of their contractors and everybody else who worked on the game, to produce a product of that quality. It's AAA quality, really. We say that a lot with indie games, but it truly is a AAA quality game made on a fraction of the budget. So, you know, fantastic work all around. But I think just the influence that it is going to have in the future for RPGs is overblown. With that said, full respect to it, but I am voting Silksong. Okay. And those are my votes. I voted in 15 out of 29 categories. And I wonder if there's some kind of like summary page saying download your vote card. Okay, sure. I'd love to see it. Okay, here you go. Here's right here. This is my vote card. This is who I voted for everything. I voted for Silksong 4 times. I voted for Expedition 33 3 times. No, 4 times. I voted for Silksong and Expedition 33 4 times each. I voted for Requiem, most anticipated game. Silent Hill F twice for best performance and audio design. And I voted for Blueprints, best debut indie. Midnight Walk, best VR. And Burnt Peanut, why the hell not? And for Peak for best multiplayer. So that's what I voted for. And if you'd like to vote for the Game Awards, you can too. At least I assume it's still ongoing as this video comes out. But yeah, let me know what you thought about my votes, I guess. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. So yeah, just let me know what you thought, okay? I know you disagreed. And that's fine as long as you are not mean about it. So, you know, control yourself. And yeah, I'll be anxious to see what happens on December 11th. Again, I'll be streaming it on Twitch, twitch.tv/JohnWolf, and I'll be posting either highlights or a full VOD, or I'm not sure what I'm going to do on here the next day. So, see you then. Thanks for watching. Think critically.